8 Men, One Dream.
February 7th, 1973 was the start of a company called Sunshine Theatres Limited. The investors who started that came eventually to be known as the Sunshine Boys.
Bradley Roberts, Sir Franklin Wilson, Julian Maynard, George Bethel, Alfred Jarrett, Philip Pinder, Stanley Wilson, and Bismarck Coakley set out to prove that Bahamians of humble origins could own and operate successful big businesses.
We decided that we wanted to pool our resources and try to do something.
At the time, there was only one highly visible company with a comparative socially focused vision, the People's Penny Savings Bank.
That each started with a strong social orientation that went beyond just making money.
However, after 20 years of success, the bank's forward advance stalled. It made the young men even more determined to succeed. George Wilson came up with the idea of Sunshine Theatre.
I said, that's something that, maybe we need to look at that in terms of theaters in the Bahamas.
The idea was to look for a suitable property and build a theater. Our first property was the property where Strawn's Garage is on Soldier Road.
Sunshine Theatre was so much more than a business, though. It was a philosophy rooted in the belief that more Bahamians should assume control of more meaningful businesses in their own country. Growth was critical to the group's survival. 18 months later, they sought to expand beyond the theater business by forming a holdings company called Sunshine Holdings.
Diversity was also important, that we don't put all our eggs in one basket.
Philip Pinder came to me and said, we have an opportunity to buy Purity Bakery. And Bill Holland was the general manager of Purity Bakery.
To this day, Purity Bakery remains a household name.
It was a household name when I was a young boy. And so it has been around for 100 years. If not 100, pretty close to it. And a success story in its own right. And the history of Purity should probably be written one day.
The media began calling the ambitious men the Sunshine Boys. Instead of shying away from what was meant to be a derogatory name, they embraced it and made it a symbol of success. However, Sunshine's first chairman, Bradley Roberts, admits it wasn't easy.
Not everything was in this for us was all lovey-dovey now. Boy, did we have some rough times when we almost went under.
The challenge in any partnership is managing competing agendas. Partners have different directions they like to see the company move in, and quite often that spells disaster for the partnership and the business. But in this case, it didn't. And here we are 50 years later, celebrating the success of it.
The Sunshine Boys attracted early investors, Karen Strawn, Hervis Bain, who designed the National Coat of Arms, and former Governor General Sir Orville Turnquest.
He wanted to invest in the future of the Bahamas. He saw it as a Bahamian company, Bahamians of humble origins beginning to have a stake in the economy of the Bahamas.
One of the group's greatest success stories is Arawak Homes, which holds the distinction of building more homes than any other company in the history of the Bahamas.
When I first came to the company, I remember us building 3 homes in Seabreeze, and for us it was like, we built in Seabreeze, wow! Then we went further east and we built a home in Nassau East, and it was like, you believe we all the way out here? Then we went to Winton and then Twynham, and then just from there all over. I'm doing different projects, whether it be commercial spaces as well through our sister company, On Point. And so the company has continued to grow.
Arawak Homes, which recently celebrated 40 years, has built thousands of homes across New Providence and named its communities after prominent Bahamians, including national heroes Sir Lyndon Pinling and author Dion Hanna, church leader Ari Cooper, and more recently, Jonkanu legend Winston Gus Cooper.
It's the people. It's the people having people on board that truly understand the philosophy of the company and understand their role in the company and executing to make it happen. And everyone has a role. And so in that regard, whether it's a home or a commercial building that we're finishing, or whatever the day is, everyone understands what we're working towards, understand that they are a big part of what it takes to make it happen, and understanding that, simply put, as our chairman would say, it's ladies and gentlemen, working with ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen, all for the common good.
However, Sunshine's foray into land development didn't begin there. In 1987, the group purchased 3,000 acres of land in South Eleuthera and formed Eleuthera Properties Limited with Albert Sands. Today, its premier property is Jacks Bay, a 1,200-acre private club community.
It's the topography, it's the beaches, it's the elevations, it's the experience. And so we have curated a master plan where we're not just about residential lots or resort lots, but it's more an experience. And so we're creating the destination for the most discerning in the Bahamas. And we think that we're going to be that world-class destination.
In addition to offering golf, swimming, and fishing, this piece of paradise is a major contributor to South Eleuthera's economy.
We're one of the largest employers in South Eleuthera. We are good corporate citizens, so we're a part of the community, and we only see ourselves growing in terms of more employment, more involvement in the South Eleuthera community.
Sunshine spread its wings even further to Grand Bahama, where the group ventured into the petroleum industry. What began as a trucking company on the island in 1967 has evolved into Focal Holdings Limited, the largest distributor of petroleum products in the Bahamas.
The founding members have really instilled core values into its leadership, and it's those values that have been built on to really build a significant organization. And today I'm very proud to say that I'm one of the beneficiaries of building on those values.
In keeping with its core mission to diversify, SHL also branched out into the insurance industry, forming Sunshine Insurance Agents and Brokers Limited. The company started off providing insurance support for subsidiaries of the Sunshine Holdings Group, but soon found its footing in the commercial market.
We've done extremely well over the last 28 years. We've gained considerable traction. A lot of that came from the fortitude of having Marsh, which is the largest insurance broker in the world, as our correspondent. We represent in the Bahamas. And as a result of that, we've got significant recognition locally as well as internationally. And so our clientele has grown both from the domestic market, but more significantly from the international market. And the caliber of expertise of the staff is second to none.
More than 30 years later, the name Sunshine Insurance is synonymous with Marathon Bahamas, a signature qualifier event that attracts runners from around the world, as well as the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, which helps to fund breast cancer research. Another feather in Sunshine's cap, Royal Star Insurance, an AM Best A-rated property and casualty insurer.
The first rating that we got was an A-. And we successfully said that over the last 10 years, we have an A rated, which is one of the highest in the Caribbean. 2, we also realized that we had to diversify the company because we were at that time in 3 territories, which was Bahamas, Cayman, and Turks. We are now successful in being in 6 territories.
Still, President and CEO Anton Saunders counts their biggest achievement as the development of talented staff.
Knowing that you're not going to be around forever. You don't want to be in a situation where you're not there and they cannot perform without you.
Then there is Sunshine Finance. Formed in 2005 to provide in-house financing for Arawak homes, the company has emerged as a leader in private lending.
We try to truly tailor-make products that reflect the financial needs and realities of Bahamians, especially in these last very turbulent and challenging years. As the pioneering investor in the acquisition and restructuring of distressed assets, we did that together with our partners, Ascendancy of Mexico and the IMF, which is the private financing arm of the World Bank. That has been an extraordinary joint venture and partnership.
That partnership helped to keep many families in their homes, something President S. Roselle Moxie is immensely proud of. Sunshine celebrates 50 years as one of the oldest and largest conglomerates in the country, with each company in its portfolio led by dynamic leaders who all agree the future looks bright.
First 40, growth, and for the next 40, positioning ourselves to do even new and exciting things.
Our Bahamian market is really growing very well. And so I expect that in the next 5 years, that we'll move up from being the fourth or third player to one of the significant top line players in the marketplace.
That Focal is pivoting into the broader energy space. And today, we are generating a considerable amount of energy in New Providence on behalf of BPL. That we see is the future. We're also developing projects, renewable energy projects, that are in line with the company's renewable energy objectives to generate 30% of energy from renewable sources by 2030.
There's a lot happening in the financial services space. So for us right now, what's on the horizon is remaining nimble so that we will identify what niche in the new financial services landscape we will fill. And we feel confident that we have both the balance sheet and the human resources to respond.
Holding true to those core values of diversity, reliability, building the common good, and increasing shareholder value, Sunshine Holdings stands on an incredibly strong foundation, thanks to those founders who set out to make a difference in their country.
A thank you to our founders, the Sunshine Boys. It is an honor to work in the Sunshine Group and carry on the legacy of a group of men who took a name intended to be derogatory and filled it with pride and accomplishment.
I never doubted Sir Franklin, and he's certainly proven that right, that to be a part of one of the largest, probably the largest Bahamian conglomerate is a tremendous feeling, a sense of achievement.
It's really a success story, and one that I think every Bahamian should be proud of. It's not every day you see a group do what they did and see it last 50 years.
Our mission today is to be a blue chip company, sustain a business which is a blue chip company from the Bahamas.